And we're live.
Okay.
There we go.
Good deal.
Here we go. That's a good looking picture right there.
Good.
It's only missing one thing. Me!
I say that shit. Say that stupid shit.
Kickbackers! I had Pokemon Go on my phone going, and I think it was taking too much the thing with people at the place, and now it's gone. We live.
Is that what it was?
I don't know, JB. I'm just making stuff up.
Yeah, I was like, well, really? Okay. You just diagnosed the problem all by yourself.
Hey, I'm a techie.
Brilliant.
Huh? You be sleeping on my tech savvy. I worked in tech support from 2000 to 2003 and a half. Don't sleep on my tech.
2000 to 2003 and a half. Huh?
Yep.
Wow.
I'm like,
I don't know that I would have claimed that one.
Well, I moved on to other things. Oh, shit. We were having some technical difficulties, but I think we're back.
I think we're fine now.
Yeah.
Gotta build the audience.
And it's not allowing. Okay, here we go. Okay, I'm about to say.
What?
Share that to the Kickbacker page. Kickbackers. Y'all like being called Kickbackers? I call you that because y'all are.
Wow.
I don't mean no harm when I call you Kickbackers, but I don't know your names individually.
Oh, so that's what it is.
So I gotta let you know I'm thinking about you when I say it.
That's a bet.
I mean, whatever floats your boat, I suppose, on this one.
Oh, my boat floats. I don't know why that sounded nasty, but some kind of way.
I don't.
We just
It was off-putting.
Yeah.
It was like, what?
I don't know about that one.
Oh, nothing about your
It's
boat.
a little uncomfortable. What?
As you can see, Melanie Dion is a little under the weather, so she couldn't be with us today. But she will be returning. Next week will be off for the Memorial Day weekend.
Yeah.
So when we come back in June, which will be the next month for the Black Love Boycott, which we'll talk about then, it should be a very cool little show. The whole crew will be back together again. And what else? This month is still financial institutions. So go get your Rush card, hit up Industrial Bank, Citizens Trust, any of the black-owned institutions. If you see I don't know, it's to support black-owned business, man. Black-owned financial institutions, I'll say.
Very good.
Thank you.
Get it together. Get it together. Goodness.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Yeah.
So we're almost done sharing, but as we always ask, you guys feel free to share the live stream so that your friends can tune into the show. Especially if you got like lady friends and they're like, there's only ugly men on TV. They can tune into the show and see me. So make sure you do that for your lady friends, or even if you have gay men friends and they tired of seeing ugly dudes, they can watch me too. I don't care.
What?
I'm tolerant.
What?
I'm tolerant.
Wow.
I wasn't ready for that at all. I'm so confused. I'm sorry. That came from nowhere.
Yeah, that was.
And I'm a little confused.
Hey man, I'm tolerant. That's all you need to know.
I mean, very much so. That's
Wow.
I'm secure in my masculinity and manhood. I'm not threatened, so it's okay.
That's great.
Okay. Oh man, hey Kickbackers, we gonna turn up tonight, young.
Yeah,
so,
it's a lot to talk about.
Yeah,
a lot to talk about.
And I'm pretty much done sharing right here.
Yeah,
I'm gonna share one more group and then we're gonna get the show started. So what? 30 seconds, guys.
Yeah, that's great.
let's see. Who has the topics up? As we're getting ready. And somebody, because Mel normally has them sitting there. And since she isn't here this week, I need to know that the topics are somewhere.
Yeah, I'm trying to pull them up.
Mel said he's so modest. Like, I'm glad you know me, Mel. Because other people don't really know me. You know what I'm saying? You know I'm modest. I'm the most modest person any of our viewers have ever seen. That's how modest I am.
Wow.
So excited about that, aren't you?
Yeah, he is probably the most immodest
Beating his
person
chest and stuff.
I've ever known.
Man.
Wow.
He said that I've ever known.
I feel a lot of
Ever.
judgment.
No, there's no judgment.
But
It's just you don't have a modest bone
right?
in your body. You're my brother, I love you, but you are not a modest nigga. Like we ain't going there.
Dang. Well, there you go.
I'm the most modest nigga any y'all ever met. Your whole lives. Y'all know that's a real story. Somebody really said that.
Yes, he said that every time you do that.
You might be the rudest person I ever met in my life.
I mean, that's just how life is, you know.
Oh, that's how life is?
That's how life is,
Oh,
you know.
okay.
Sometimes
That's how
sometimes
life
you
is.
just say what you mean and mean what you say. And that comes off as rude.
200.
I can't help it.
200.
Here we go.
Alright.
Alright. So we're about to get started. Kickbackers. All this stuff together. I spit some stretch a little bit.
Oh my gosh, y'all. I don't need to do any of that. I'm ready.
Yeah, you hear the old
Y'all
ass
feel
man,
good?
all the bones
Y'all
popping.
right, y'all like situating yourself. You got your bones in the right places. Y'all ready? I just want to make sure. Feel free to get up during the show if you need to readjust a bone at any time. I understand.
Sometimes you gotta get up and readjust your bone. I mean, but we gonna
What?
I'm just hold up. Let's get back to the show.
All right,
let's get to the show.
Let's get it started. Come on.
What the hell was that? Anyway,
Hey,
yeah, I just disappeared.
Let's get it going.
What the hell? What's the name of our show, yo? What's the name of our show?
Kickback TV.
Oh, Kickback TV. Welcome to Kickback TV, live from Atlanta, also known as the Black CNN, and the revolution will be televised. I'm New the Mayor, the writer, the rapper, the revolutionary.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's just
Righteous! Ratchet! Hey, man.
yo.
All of a sudden, that.
That was hilarious.
I gotta do Melanie something.
Yo, the look on her face when she realized what's about to happen. She looked at me like, JB, what do I do? I just said, it's all you.
I just like, it just dawned on me. Like,
She literally was like, help. Like, oh, I'm sorry.
oh my gosh.
That was hilarious.
Y'all gonna introduce yourself?
Okay.
It's JB's turn.
JB Frank, Gangsta Geek, representing nerds with attitudes, or actually reverse that. Hello everyone. A little inebriated.
Okay.
This is gonna be a good show.
this is interesting. I'm Pandora Alexis. Hey y'all, happy Sunday and all that.
Yeah, I have kicked back.
He has.
Now he pulled the you one.
I did.
He pulled the me.
Yeah, I interrupted.
Male. This
the fuck
always
out of you.
male.
Sorry.
This always male interrupting him.
Mm-hmm.
Melanie
Not you.
Dion.
Anyway, let me finish what I was saying. So we can no, stop, because you just drew it out. See, because JB, he said what he. I ain't. Okay, so anyway, I'm Pandora Alexis, y'all. I'm a learned hippie otaku. Happy Sunday and all that. Let's get to the show.
Girls I do with
First
you on
time.
IG.
Yeah.
So Mel just introduced herself
In the group.
That was cool.
I'm Melanie Dion. AKA So Mellow. AKA, I'm gonna get a new name next week.
Well, we wasted a solid
Next
20
girl.
minutes bullshitting. So
That was my Melanie Dion impersonation. Mel, I nailed that, John, didn't I? I know. Okay. You know what? Fine. I'm just gonna go to second place.
All right.
So let's start out with happy birthday, Malcolm X.
I'm back for that.
Yeah, you know, we haven't heard about this in the media, you know, no programs on TV, no nothing. And one of the seminal civil rights figures in our history, you know. I struggle with that, but happy birthday. We're going to celebrate him here.
Hell yeah. Brother Malcolm's birthday was Friday. Of course, the show was Sunday, so we had to wait till the day. But I was just in awe that nobody was addressing it. It just wasn't being mentioned. I know when Dr. King's birthday comes up, and you know, some of these other people, it's a big deal when Jay-Z's birthday comes. You know what I'm saying? Oh, Beyonce. I know how you feel about that. Sharing the same day of birth. But
That's not cool.
it's not. But it is. But I do want to speak about Brother Malcolm. Just say Malcolm X was the single most influential figure in my life. His teachings led me down a path where I was in constant pursuit of knowledge, and opened my mind up and introduced me to the teachings of the Nation of Islam, which led me to the teachings of the 5% Nation, Peace of the Nation of Gods and Earths. A lot of my political views, a lot of my stance, a lot of how I identify myself comes from Malcolm being Detroit Red, then converting to Malcolm X, then elevating himself to El-Haj Malik El-Shabazz. Okay, yeah, I know I be wish I got the voice. Yeah, I know I got that voice. Now I'm gonna try to speak up a little louder because they can't hear me. Okay.
Oh.
So I'll try to speak up a little louder. Really quickly, Malcolm X is the single most influential person in my life. Watching his transformation from Detroit Red to Malcolm X to El-Haj Malik El-Shabazz kind of influenced me in my decision and in my route. And I just want to say happy birthday to Brother Malcolm.
Yeah. Happy birthday, Malcolm X. That's all we say, y'all.
Let's move on to this hot story of the day because you're going to find a recurring theme in this show. I'm just going to put that out there. But the hot story of the day, a New York firefighter lost his job because he went ham on Twitter. Went crazy on Twitter. He was a consummate racist on Twitter. Like, for a while, his Twitter photo was a picture of Adolf Hitler. You know, he was saying horrible things about the mayor on Twitter. I mean, basically his boss on Twitter, which is just stupid to begin with.
His prized possession was a swastika in
Yeah.
his life.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he really went ham. And the funny part about this story, New, is not only is he a racist asshole, but apparently he's also a punk. Because when the media confronted him at his home, he broke down into tears. Oh my God, I didn't mean it. I'm sorry.
I'm so sorry.
What are you
Tears
talking
of a
about,
clown.
young?
So sorry. White tears.
Yeah, I mean, you can just look up New York firefighter, and they've got they've got plenty of his tweets posted, like literally some of the shit he said. So for him to be breaking down into tears and being like, "I'm sorry," I ain't having that, young. Whatever.
Yeah.
He deserved to lose his job. I got no sympathy.
No sympathy. Fuck about you.
That's how I feel. I mean, like, you did it. The only reason you're crying is because you got found out and the spotlight is on you. You don't feel remorse for the action. You feel remorse that you got found out. So I really don't. I don't care. Like, boo on you. Like, too bad. I have no sympathy.
Yeah, more people need to lose their jobs behind things like this.
Mm-hmm.
We're
Absolutely.
becoming too tolerant. A lot of times these tweets go unpunished. You'd be surprised at things people get away with. Like those tweets towards Obama. When Obama joined Twitter, the nigga president is online, fuck you nigga, get out my White House, and nothing happened. You know, you hear about one isolated incident every now and then. But yeah.
Oh yeah, but let a black woman show up with a bottle and a photo in a club on Twitter, she's being fired the next day.
Yeah.
I just had to point that out because that's trending now. That's what's happening now. Moving on though.
Yeah, I what the fuck story of the day is it's the real reason Melanie Dion isn't here today. Our what the fuck story of the day is about sologamy, which is where women marry themselves, or men or women can marry themselves. It started on an episode of Sex and the City. And Melanie isn't here today because she went to Las Vegas to marry herself. After the honeymoon, she'll be back.
Don't put that on her, young. Don't do that, young. Don't put that on. I'm standing up for you. Don't put nah, young. Nah, young.
So she not in Vegas right now?
Nah, young. Oh. Nah. Don't do that.
I bet she would be glad if she had joined. Like, been in Vegas. I would like to be in Vegas right now.
Absolutely.
Hell yeah.
So no. But people marrying themselves, sologamy as it's called. I don't understand it, and it's a little too much. Like, it just doesn't make much sense because you're already by yourself, like, all the time. Like, I just don't, it just doesn't make sense to me. Like, I don't get it. Why am I marrying myself? What's the benefit of it? Like, what am I doing? Like, why, like,
so
are there divorces from myself?
So let's break this
down. The lady
down.
broke it down why she did it. She got tired of people asking her why she was single, why she wasn't married yet. So she said, "Oh, I'm just gonna marry myself."
That's not a reason.
I agree.
But let's think about how delusional this is.
You're still not.
Like this is delusional.
Where's
I'm
your
me.
husband?
I'm enough for me. But I'm going to attach a label that is associated with a couple in order to legitimize that. So I am going to call myself a couple in order to legitimize myself to myself. It makes zero sense. And I hate to say it, and I'm going to say it out loud because I read the article, and the article said that only women have done this. It's a product of this hyperfeminism that's going on right now, and it's bad. Like, it's really, really bad. If you're single and you're happy with who you are and where you are, you should be able to say that you're single, whether you're 30, 40, or 50. That's who you are.
Trey Jordan brought up an excellent question. So does she have to divorce herself to marry someone else? If she does meet this man of her dreams or the woman of her dreams, does she? Well, because it's not legal. It can't be legal.
It's not legal.
So she doesn't have to divorce herself. Good question, though. It's funny.
It just doesn't make sense. If she has sex with someone else, who is she cheating on?
You know what's hilarious?
Yeah.
Literally all of those questions.
That's a very valid question.
All of those questions were in the article. They were going ham on it. They thought whoever wrote the article thought it was ridiculous.
That is ridiculous.
It is absolutely.
It's ridiculous. It's redonkulous. It's silly, and it makes no sense.
But see, that's that tolerance thing. People are marrying animals now. People are marrying their cars and all this weird dumb stuff. And people will be like, "Are they hurting you? Are they hurting you? Then why can't they do it?" And then we get stuff with people marrying themselves. Like, I'm gonna use your word. America is devolving because people just mind their business too much. Sometimes you gotta put your nose in something. Press play.
Especially when it's bad. Well, in this case, in other cases, maybe not. At any rate, so let's move on to the Grind and Shine Award. Our man definitely deserves it. He is playing in the conference finals right now. Kevin Durant. So KD decided to give back. His foundation is going to provide newly, what are they, state-of-the-art gyms, I guess we should say.
Basketball courts.
Yeah, state-of-the-art outdoor basketball courts. These are outdoor basketball courts, but these are like the really, really nice ones. Because he grew up in Sea Pleasant playing ball outside.
Sea Pleasant, Maryland, a suburb of Washington, D.C.
Absolutely.
The coolest people on the sofa's hometown. Go ahead, JB, continue.
I love this because...
No shade.
I love this because my little cousin Ron, he still lives in Sea Pleasant. His mom lives in Sea Pleasant. My nephews used to play on those courts in Sea Pleasant all the time. They're going to be able to go back home and play on these brand new basketball courts. And all the kids growing up in my neighborhood are going to enjoy this. So thank you personally, Kevin Durant, for doing this. You win the award.
Hell yeah.
I mean, mean, I think it's a great thing. I think it's wonderful to give back to the community once you've, reached a certain level of wealth. I think that it's good to pass it on. So good on him. I'm really happy about it. So yeah.
KD's been doing stuff, especially in the Oklahoma City area for years. His philanthropic efforts are noted. This is just another one. So he has done some things on the court that people are like, "What are you doing?" But off the court, he's been a pretty straight guy. You know what I'm saying? And shout out to him. You deserve the Brian the Shine Award. Gas.
Indeed. Moving on.
You want to take it?
No, you can take it. I don't want it.
So we all know Lonzo Ball is entering the NBA draft this year. The Lakers have the number 2 pick, which we'll get into later, and maybe going into the league, and he has his own pair of shoes. His father, LeVar Ball, has been very outspoken, very controversial, and all over social media and media outlets. His most recent outlandish statement, Kyrie Irving from the Cleveland Cavaliers said that, once Lonzo Ball gets into the league, LeVar should cut the cord. Kind of let him be his own man, let him do his own thing. He's going to eventually have to learn to let go. Now, that comes on the heels of LeVar's comments saying Lonzo Ball was better than LeBron James, and just saying this ridiculous shit. So Kyrie kind of chimed in there. LeVar says, well, you can't speak on me and my son, because you don't have kids of your own, and you haven't even had parents because you don't have a mother. My son has a mother and a father, and 2 brothers. You don't have a mother, so how can you even comment on anything with a family? Kyrie Irving's mother passed away when he was 4 years old. I want to think so badly that LeVar thought that, even if he thought she wasn't around, that's still a horrible thing to say.
It's horrible no matter what.
I can't justify it. I'm trying to find a way.
There's no way to justify it. There's no way.
It's just, you get the Shut Up Stupid Award, but before we give you the award, I want to open the floor to you guys and let you say how you feel about it before I get my final thoughts.
The comments were distasteful, and it shows that the man, the words that come out of his mouth don't really pass through his brain with a whole lot of. They don't spend a whole lot of time there. This is kind of what I've been saying about this whole thing with the shoes, y'all. This is not a man who thinks things through. This is not a man who handles things well. And I think that this business is in jeopardy, because of him. I'll just leave it at that. I never player hated on the fact that he's trying to do his own thing. I have just always been like, this one is not a good idea. I don't think it's going to go well.
They'll call him a black 45.
Wow.
He's a black Trump.
Wow. Yeah, so,
wow.
Those are my thoughts, so.
I think, I don't like the guy anyway. I just don't like him altogether. I think the things he says are silly. And he's just so cocky and just so ugh. And then to say this, that was really just cold-hearted and mean and just made no sense to really go with that kind of thing. Why would you say that? So I don't know. I feel like he tries to put shock value into his words, though, because he knows so much is dependent on him right now. Mm-hmm. So that's how I feel about it. I'm interested to see what happens in the next NBA season and see if this all ends up working out for him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that'll be the telltale sign if it's a success or not. We'll get into that on another show. Mm-hmm. But LeVar Ball, man, you have earned the Shut Up Stupid Award.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. The Donald Trump Shut Up Stupid Award. So LeVar Ball, shut up, stupid.
Shut up.
You earned it.
Indeed.
Mm-hmm.
And speaking of 45.
Let's get into it, man. We got to get into it, brother. Nah, man, go ahead.
Okay, so the James Comey, what? The James Comey memo. So as we all know now, some really shocking things have come to light. Shocking. Things have come to light. It's not shocking. Just in case you didn't catch that, it's not shocking. We all knew this kind of stuff was happening. It's not shocking. At least
criminal.
He's a criminal. Come on. So James Comey memo is coming out, basically saying that James Comey has taken extensive notes on all of the conversations that he's had with 45. And I think it's going to be a bombshell. And I think it's fantastic that he had the mental presence to go ahead and start taking notes on this kind of thing. I think it was commendable. I don't think he should have gotten fired for like this long after the whole Hillary Clinton. Look, that it happened. He shouldn't have done it, but he was an effective FBI director, is what a lot of the agents are saying. So I think kudos to him for taking extensive notes on this. Word on the street, of course, is that Donald Trump asked him not to investigate himself, and if he asked multiple times about that, and he also asked for him to let Michael Flynn go. Just said, you know, he's a good guy. Let's just let it go. So I'm very interested to see what's in the memo. JB?
Yeah, I mean, this is bad because Comey, they're alleging that Comey has notes on exactly what Trump said to the Russians, what he told them, what secrets were divulged. And the hint on the street is that secrets were in fact divulged in these discussions. It's going to blow up the spot. Let me say this, kickbackers. Trump has already done more than Richard Nixon was indicted and impeached for in the White House.
Facts.
Let me say that again. Donald Trump has already committed more illegal acts that we are all aware of than Richard Nixon was indicted and impeached for.
Yeah,
Why is he still in office?
All this Watergate talk, we do Russiagate.
He's still in office because the Republicans are more focused on what's trying to get their agendas done than what's best for the country, and it's become a power grab.
Yeah, Nixon was indicted for breaking and entering. We're talking about high treason here.
Yeah.
Like,
facts. Looking at going over the Comey memo, some of the things that were involved in the Comey memo, it's scary. It's he really is trying to run a country like a dictatorship. He's really trying to run things with intimidation.
Yeah. Leave
him alone. Don't investigate me. Don't investigate Flynn. Now you're fired. And then going to the Russians and talking about, I got rid of the nut job, so now the pressure's off. It's enough to make you really believe that he's in bed with Russia. I really believe that now. I really sincerely believe that Donald Trump and his cabinet are in bed with Russia.
And don't forget that he also gave over actual military secrets to them, told them about secret intelligence that we had gotten from other nations, which is a horrible, horrible thing to do in the intelligence community. It really harms our ability to gather intelligence because then other countries don't trust us. Because a lot of times they'll tell us information, but it's like a non-disclosure thing. You can't tell anyone else that we have it.
No. Let's.
Mel said he's trying to get impeached. He never wanted the job.
He could go to jail though.
That's very true.
He could go to jail.
He is supposed to be shot.
Trey Jordan is saying he's still in office because people are afraid of Pence and Ryan getting into the presidency. That's why he hasn't been impeached. And I kind of wanted to touch on that a little bit. I know we kind of went back and forth on that in our pre-meeting. But I don't fear Pence any more than I fear Trump. His level of competence may be a little higher, but I do think they're in concert. I do think that they're pushing a singular agenda. And I think that the only caveat to that is Trump is trying to become even more financially secure through his presidency. There's what's the young guy? Was it Ryan? Who said that made a comment that he thought that Trump was being paid by Putin? Someone made that comment last week, and it was released. Someone in Congress, it was released. If you guys are watching
the guy, I can't remember his name.
You guys that are watching, if you can recall, who was the either the majority leader that made the comment that hey, I think Trump is being paid by Putin, which is a year ago, and let's see, he doesn't want to look like a quitter. He wants to get impeached, but doesn't want to look like a quitter. Another comment from Mel. I'm disgusted with it. I think that we do need to start working on the impeachment process. What is it that he can do that we'll say is too much? It goes back to the whole tolerance thing, Jimmy.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say this. Like, we all know that if any agent of the CIA divulges any secrets that they have learned at all, they are executed for treason. Like treason. Like, let's be clear on what this is. I just had to say that again.
Yeah, now Trey brings up an excellent point. We know that the election was rigged. We know that Russia meddled at the very least with social media influence and by releasing Hillary's emails. We know that. So we do know that the election was rigged. That's what we know. Now, if they impeach Trump, does it automatically go to Pence, or are they saying we're impeaching you because of everything you did, including your contribution to having the election rigged, which means that the default winner is now Hillary? Like, does that happen? Because if their whole campaign was rigged and it was a fallacy and it was Russian influence, then the election is null and void now.
You touch on two very important points, and I think you have actually touched on the accurate reason why he has not been indicted yet. Because if you open up that Pandora's box, you have to see everything contained therein, which means that our entire electoral process has now been invalidated. Our executive branch of government is now invalidated. People are literally worried that this will dissolve the government. Like, that's literally what they're worried about.
It's a crisis. It's holding together by very thin threads right now.
Yeah, like he has destroyed our government.
Trey said, would Barack step back into a new president is found? I don't think so, because it's against the Constitution. He can't. He literally can't. He doesn't have the ability to. And honestly, if he gets impeached, I would prefer it to go to Pence. Because I just don't want it.
The Senate Majority Leader.
The Senate Majority Leader?
Yes. The line of succession. Well, no.
It should be vice president.
It would be vice president.
No, because again, if you open up all of Pandora's box, that entire election is invalid.
Yeah, but
we're talking about his contact, his influence with Russia, and that started with the election. So all of that goes away. That is what people are afraid of. That is why he has not been indicted. I'm telling you.
It sounds like this whole season is
scandal. It's unknown territory on this point.
Yeah, it sounds like scandal, huh, Mel? And the Constitution needs to be rewritten.
Oh man, that's a big job. Yeah. That's a big job. Yeah. That's a huge job. And right now, that would throw us into chaos. Like, that kind of thing. I don't know. There's a lot of things wrapped up in the Constitution. Yeah, it's a scary thing, but I think that's why this is an unknown thing. This is something that's never been this has never happened in American history, where we know that a foreign government, especially Russia, has been able to directly interfere in one of our elections. And so I think that because this is unknown territory, they're most likely going to go with the safest option, which is just to let it go to the vice president. That's just what I would think, just because if we try to do like a new election and everything, like, that shows America needs to look a certain way in the world, and that's what the people in the government are most concerned with. How are we perceived by the world? If we invalidate all of our election results and end up having a new election, that might end up coming off. This is what I'm just thinking, that they might be thinking. This is going to look like America is a weaker country, that we're able to be. I don't know.
We're literally looking at it.
Yeah, I'm seeing, and I don't think it's going to turn to Hillary. Not at all. I don't think that, because that would cause a huge uproar.
No.
That's not going to happen.
No, you invalidate the entire election.
And then redo
you
it?
Invalidate the election, which means that you either do a rerun, or it defaults to, it goes through the line of succession. And actually that...
And you're saying they would skip the vice president?
Yeah.
Because he would be out with Trump.
But I think that he's trying to act right now with, like, so that he can claim plausible deniability. Notice that like, Pence comes off as like, I am separate from this guy. Like, I don't have anything to do with it.
Understood. But the fact remains that, see, this is how bad this is, and this is how scary this is. Because when you say that Russia influenced the election, that transcends the presidential election. Because at the point where you are electing a president, the entire party is tied together. especially in the media and especially on social media. Like, that is why this is so freaking. It kills the presidency. It kills that congressional election potentially. It kills the cabinet too. Like, it's bad.
Yeah. And I think that that's what needs to happen. If I think America looks stronger because people are already saying the election was rigged. People are already saying that at the very least it was influenced. We're all saying definitely. That. The world is saying that. At least that it was influenced by Russia. We do nothing about it. I think that makes us look weak. We go, hold up, Russia, you're not influencing our shit. We doing this whole thing over. We America. I think that shows strength.
I agree. I completely agree. You know, there's nothing wrong with a do-over. Like, especially when it was this bad. Like, this bad, you know?
I just want to know if there's already a process in place or how long this would take after impeachment in order to throw a whole new election. I think that and somebody Trey said Bernie, and God look at here. If Bernie could get back, look, we could go the right direction, y'all.
If we do it that way, I vote for Bernie.
Yeah, it would be wonderful.
I vote
Hillary
for
need
Bernie.
not.
He ain't he ain't the savior. I think everybody else think he is, but he's better.
He's not selling us to Russia and leading us to war.
Yeah,
that's true.
That's true.
I wouldn't do that either. I wouldn't do that either.
And just being a general horrible person.
Our standards got to be up there because that's not good enough to me. He's not going to sell secrets to Russia. That is a terrible minimum standard.
I can't believe he did that. Yeah, I can't believe I'm really. And then to say that you fired the nut job Comey, like just wow. All right, so are we ready for the next topic?
We're actually coming up on break. So as you know, we take a break in the middle of the show. I usually take a shower. JB like cooks a meal. Lex does some kind of phone gypsy thing. We'll go do those things, and then we'll come back. When we come back, we have our question of the day, which is the feminization of black men real? And we're talking about everything from black men being told to be quiet to wearing rompers and mankinis to the over homosexualization of black men in media, whether it's TV, movie, film. Is that a real thing? Some people say no, it's not. Some people say of course it is. I want to know what you guys think. So I'm on break. Type in your comments because we're going to read them on the show, and we need you to kind of guide this discussion for us. So we'll take your comments and the questions you ask, and that's how we'll gauge our discussion, I guess we'll say.
Yeah,
so is the feminization of black men real? Or is it just an outfit? Is a romper just an outfit? What is it? Talk to us. We'll be back in about 2 minutes, 2-3 minutes, and we'll 1 minute, 2 minutes. 2 minute drill.
Yeah.
So don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Anything you guys want to add before we dip?
No, we'll see y'all in a minute or two.
Hey.
Or maybe even 3.
Andrew watching from the legendary crawfish boil. We gotta tell y'all about the crawfish boil too.
Angie?
Facebook name is a phone. The Facebook name is a phone. Oh, where is that? That's the person.
Okay. All right, we're back, y'all.
Indeed.
I was dancing and snapping at the same time.
Oh, I ain't seen you dance on the show. Has she danced today yet?
Yeah.
Okay.
Have I?
Yeah.
Oh. I didn't notice.
I didn't see it, but I could feel it because the couch would wiggle. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know. I don't know.
It's okay.
I'm trying to be serious.
Nah. Don't do that.
I'll do it again and not notice, so it's fine.
Man, our ratings go up every time you do that. So
Oh, man.
Kickbackers!
Oh.
Kickback TV live from Atlanta. We are your hosts. We're also known as the Black CNN. We're missing one person, Melanie Dion.
Hey, Mel.
What up, Mel? Hope you feel better.
Mm-hmm.
I am New the Mayor, the writer, the rapper, the revolutionary. The righteous ratchet.
Oh, my God. Ooh. Okay. I think my ear is bleeding a little.
Oh, wow.
I think I might need to go to the hospital, y'all.
Wow.
That was a lot.
Okay.
I'm Pandora Alexis, aka Curls I Do Adore on IG. Anyway, I'm the learned hippie otaku. Go ahead.
Rokusaki.
Alright.
What's up, y'all? JB Frank. The nerve, the attitude. I said it correctly this time. Representing Gangsta Geeks. Happy Sunday, everybody.
You used to say the other way before.
I was fucking it up.
The whole time?
Yeah, I was fucking it up. I said earlier I fucked it up again, so that's why I figured I'd do it right this time.
Well, there it is. We figured out who Rokusaki is. And whenever she said the learned hippie otaku, I'd be like, Rokusaki. I know what the hell that was. That's Master Shredder from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Did I go Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
I always
That's dope.
Yeah, I always knew who he was. He's an actor.
No. That's his character's name. JB Anderson.
No. There's a dude, a Roku, maybe not Saki, but a Roku somebody who's done like 47 Ronin and all. Like you've seen him in the.
I know who you're talking about.
Yes.
But Oroku Saki is the Shredder's legal name. It's Oroku the Shredder Saki. It's not.
I'm just shaking my head because I hate that you say that.
You shouldn't hate anything.
I have a strong distaste for it then.
Yeah, you shouldn't hate anything.
It's still a strong distaste.
You shouldn't hate anything.
It's otaku. Look it up. Otaku. Otaku.
Well, I looked it up.
Anyway.
We're going to move right along to our question of the day. Has anybody responded about the feminization of black men? While we look through those comments, I'll ask the question again. Is the feminization of black men real? Now, I posed this question because Facebook was on fire all week in our Facebook group, which is Kickback TV Show. You can do a search for it and join the group. Matter of fact, I'll post the link to join the group so you can be in the discussion all week and not just on Sunday. So the question was, is the feminization of black men real? The discussion that took over was black men in these rompers, or men wearing rompers. And that's what led me there. But also we have the gay black character on, it's one on every damn thing nowadays, the gay black man character. And I don't mind it being a homosexual character on every single show, like whatever. But I get a little bothered when it's always a gay black man and he's always the flamboyant gay black man. I take exception to that. And I guess I want to compartmentalize this because we have so many different angles to go. But first, for our viewers and for you two here, let's talk about the male romper. What are you guys' thoughts on the male romper? And then let's do a micro and then go macro. Mm-hmm. So the male romper, JB, you getting one?
First of all, it looks like underwear to me. It's just weird on so many levels. Like it's just so gay on so many levels. Number one, they all just look gay. I mean, it just looks. I'm sorry, but it does. Number two, rompers are. They were originally, if I'm not mistaken, Lex, like it was a style of clothing that was worn by women, like
and children.
Yeah, like the shirt that buttoned down a little bit with the short set.
There was also a period in like the 60s and 70s where men did wear rompers. Like my father told me, he was like, "Oh yeah, I've seen those before." Like, I'm just saying, they were seen before. That's what I'm saying. But I mean, are those your thoughts on the rompers? Because I'm gonna say my thoughts. If so,
they just, I don't know why it became such a big deal, because when I first saw one, I was like, oh yeah, that's some more, some more sort of, homosexual type of fashion kind of thing, whatever, It wasn't a big deal to me, and then it blew up because it became so popular. I was like, why is
the look is Cam Newton wore to Coachella, and a picture was released of him wearing it, and that sparked a debate.
bless you.
I was still like, why are we talking about, like, why is this such a big deal? And then I kept looking around. It's like, oh, it's become like really, really popular. Like this is like the new thing. And I'm like,
I mean, like,
nah, yeah.
For me, because I've been to gay pride festivals and like I've been immersed in that culture, like to me, seeing men dressed a certain way doesn't denote whether or not they're gay. And for me personally, I would rather not date a man who wears a romper. That's just probably not my thing. But there are women out there that would date a man in a romper, and I've met like heterosexual males that dress a little bit differently, but they're definitely heterosexual. So my problem with the whole romper debate is whether or not this style of clothing denotes if you're gay or not. Because I've been to Pride and seen dudes who look like they would be the most gangsta, like just like up front, like whatever, but they're at Pride with a man on their arm. So like to me, just marking a piece of clothing as whether or not you're gay, which is just defined as liking the same sex, like that's my only problem with it. Like I said, I reserve the right not to date a man who wears a romper, like, or a certain style of clothing, because it's just not my thing. But I wouldn't mark it as gay.
Well, let me ask you this though: does it strike you? Is the reason why it is unappealing to you because it strikes you as unmanly?
I would not that. It was just I just can't imagine myself. It's not it being unmanly. It's just like the type of mindset that goes with that. But like I don't know if it's manly or not. Honestly.
Well, what type of mindset do you perceive to go with that?
Like young. Like that's what I see it as like this younger mentality, like just like the young thug generation. That's what I see the rompers as. And I think that's their style of dress, like all these weird clothes, which I don't understand at all. But yeah, no, I just that's my only problem with it. Like,
yeah, and show us, put it right now.
Yeah.
Okay. My thoughts on the romper thing. I don't necessarily think I don't think it makes you gay. I know the people trying to be hip and trendy will go get a romper because they think that makes them fly. And I'm a person who I love to go. I love clothes. I love looking at clothes. I love when a new style comes in. I'm trying to examine it, and I like that whole process. It's not a good look to me. It's kind of whack to me. You know what I'm saying? So I don't necessarily think it makes you gay, but I think that it contributes to the feminization of black men. Like, why is we let the skinny jeans? I didn't let none of that shit go. But first we was wearing skinny jeans, which is traditionally what women would do. Now we do know back in the '80s, everybody wore those little skin tight jeans, but it's a little different now. They wearing skinny jeans with the vicious sag on them. It's a little bit different. And we Young Thug was on his album cover wearing a dress. Andre 3000 wore a kilt and a dress. He's probably considered.
But a kilt
and a dress.
But
I said a kilt
together. 2
different times. One time he wore a kilt, another time he wore a dress.
But I'm saying, I would just like to point out that a kilt is not. The culture of it is not what. It's not a dress. That's a warrior's outfit. So I'm sorry.
Yeah,
go ahead.
That's a warrior's outfit in that particular culture. To me,
yes.
You're not a warrior now. So wearing a kilt in 2017 does not denote warrior. It denotes you have on a dress. That's what I'll rebut that with. Because they're not wearing it because we're warriors. We should wear this. They're wearing it because they're like, this is different. This people going to talk about it. It's going to be trendy. They're not thinking about, man, let's go to battle. Well, I'm a soldier in my lyrics. So I'm gonna wear this. That's not what they're doing. Like we gotta be real with it. And people wearing dresses. Weezy kissing Birdman. Nobody said nothing about that. It's just
lots of people said things about those things.
A lot of people told me, why are you so worried about it? That's what
I didn't understand why that was happening.
Now I'm not so worried about it. I just it's kind of alarming. Hold up, JB.
Go ahead.
And I'm looking at the Romper. It's another bad fashion choice. It looks like men's fashion trends are heading in the direction of looking more and more like women, and that's my concern. Zara was one of my favorite stores. When I go in Zara now, there's a very limited section that I can shop at because everything is Romper-esque. You know what I'm saying? The dress-esque, the super tight. H&M kind of getting like that too, and even Armani. So a lot of the new fashion trends, like YSL made those long T-shirts that were pretty much dresses, and all the dudes was wearing these dresses and saying, "No, it's really just a long T-shirt." It's like, dude, like, why is that the style? Why is it in style to wear a shirt that is as long as a dress? And kind of, tailor it a little bit. Why is that in style? It's just a T-shirt. You act like it's a dress. Well, it looks just like a dress. They cut it like a dress. Why is that the new style for a man? And that's a real question. Like, why is that the new style for a man? I think it's because of the feminization of black men. But before I continue, JB, I know you want to jump in.
Well, I was going to jump in and say, every time this topic is brought up, both on social media and now, two things happen. One, everyone finds immediate justification because they know of someone who is very heterosexual who dresses that way. I have a problem with it. I have a problem with a man, whether he is gay or not, dressing that way. I think that men should dress like men, whether they are gay or not. I think the only time you dress like a woman is when you're playing some kind of joke on Halloween or something like that, or you want to become a woman. Or you feel like, again, you're a transgender, or you're one of those who is into drag or whatever. But you are identifying yourself in the female category when you dress that way. You are not standing up and calling yourself a man and dressing like a woman. And that is the issue that I take with it. We are blurring gender lines, and that is a problem. We can't avoid that.
That's that tolerance thing, JB, where everybody, Frank with an interesting comment, which I knew would come. It's not my style, but if you like it, do you. And that's where I think American society is devolving into. Just do you. I'm not with it, but do you. And I swear I'm guilty of it. Because that became that's what I thought my enlightened level was. Now I am now enlightened. This was 2009. I am now enlightened. You can do whatever you want to do. I won't judge you because it's you, and that's your pursuit of happiness, and I just want you happy. If you're not hurting anybody, it doesn't matter. And back then, guys were wearing kilts and rap videos, and then that, I hate to do the slippery slope thing, but then that turned into mankinis, which is the male version of a bikini. It's just like we've become so tolerant of almost everything that we're gonna wind up in a society where there are no gender roles, where there are no gender lines, and that I'm not cool with that. That was like the ancient Roman, Greek. Like I don't want to go there.
No, it wasn't.
I don't want that.
But that's just the thing. Like that, it wasn't though. Gender roles were very, very clearly defined in those societies. And there was a very, very prevalent homosexual aspect in those societies. And I think that is the point that I am making. The two can coexist, right? I'm not trying to eliminate, the homosexual perspective or the transgender perspective from our society. This is not that, though. This is identifying men directly with feminine things, gay or not, and that is a problem. Like you can't look at it any other way. Like you can't justify a man wearing a dress every time when you talk about a gay man wearing a dress, because that's not what I'm talking about, right?
I agree. It's tricky because like we are literally in a society where people just say, "Man, do you?" Like you ain't hurt nobody, but it gets tricky. I think it gets tricky.
I mean, I don't know. Like I'm just not on that. I'm just not on that level yet of saying like. I mean, it doesn't hurt me honestly. I mean, it doesn't hurt me. But now when it comes to and I'm just talking about the romper situation, like wearing what you want to wear and stuff like that. Now, when it comes to the emasculation of black males, I definitely agree that that's something in society that has been prevalent for years and years. Basically, removing the black male out of the household, saying that he's not a necessary thing because a woman can do it all by herself.
Feminism.
Which is feminism. Yes, it is. It is feminism to a certain degree. It's feminism. Okay, fine. Okay, fine, y'all. Fine.
We got
Leave me alone. Fine.
We got it.
Fine.
That was all in our pre-meeting. We had a discussion and.
Because I describe myself as a feminist, and to me, the things that they were talking about was a white feminism perspective, which is denying the intersectionality of having black women and white women in the same movement, because white women have never really, in the feminist movement, never really worked for the ills that we had, and honestly dismantled the black household, in my opinion, which leads directly back into the topic, which is the emasculation of the black male. And yeah, like feminism did a lot of damage to the black household, basically telling women that we don't need our males. And to me, feminism is equality. It's understanding that there are gender roles to a certain extent, but that I can think my mental capacity is just as good as a male's, and that I deserve the same amount of pay as a male, and I deserve the same opportunities as a male. That is what feminism is to me. But their argument was that feminism is not actually that. So I don't know what I am. I feel like a feminist, but fine. I don't know what to call myself now.
Well, because feminism, the way I was exposed to it, was in fact not about equality. All of the feminist literature I read, like it was that women are clearly superior to men. There was no mention of equality in any of the documentation that I read. And the intimate and the idea, the invocation of the very idea that, I can do it, I can absolutely do it on my own. The father doesn't need to be present is fundamentally flawed. And that is what the black feminist movement became from my exposure. So again, it was not about equality. It was about dismissal, right? Mm-hmm. Where is the equality in superiority, and where is the equality in outright dismissal from society?
But I really think that feminism has been bastardized over time. Like that's just like what happened with Christianity. That's what I think. And I don't think that's really fair, because to me, I've said what I think feminism is. Now, what it has become, that is not what I identify with, because I definitely believe in certain gender roles. But I already said my beliefs on that. So that's what's difficult for me. But when it comes to the emasculation of the black male, honestly, Frank brought up a good point. When it comes to like the fashion type thing, he said that if he feels like it will pass like the sexual ambiguity they had back in the 70s when the androgynous movement did come in. And I remember seeing that, y'all. I don't know if y'all remember that.
How do you remember seeing that?
Because I watched I love the 70s and I love the 80s on MTV. I love the 70s. And then they had 3D. Oh, that shit was cool, man. That's how I learned about some stuff through that.
This is the beauty of having a millennial on the show.
I mean, yeah, those eras have been, memorialized. I love the 90s too. I could really get into that one because I'm a 90s baby. But yeah, that's my thoughts on the emasculation.
I love the 30s. You do understand.
You do understand though that all of those things and all of those movements during all of those times were considered countercultural movements, not cultural movements.
No, I know.
So that is a very important. But that's a very important distinction to make, though, because again, the romper thing isn't like a thing over there to the side where it's like, oh my God, look at those people. It's like, everybody, let's wear rompers.
But you have to also recognize that only a certain set of men are going to wear those rompers. And there's only a certain set of women who are going to date men who wear those rompers. And I also have to say that there are a difference in the rompers. There are some rompers that are very, yes, I will agree, like they come off effeminate. But then there's also rompers that don't look like they're not terribly, horribly bad. Like, you know, there's been a couple where I'm like, oh, that's cool. I'm not into you wearing it, my guy. But like, okay, that one's a little more masculine.
Well, did they call them rompers in the 70s? Because I thought
No.
they were called leisure suits back
I
then.
can't remember what my
like
dad said they were called.
The linen jumps that had the shorts down to here and the top had the buttons and shit. It looked like he was almost wearing like a button up with some shorts that was both the same color. But it was, I remember seeing stuff like that in One Piece, like in old movies and shit. So I'm with you on that. I get that. Let me also say that I'm directing a lot of my questions to you, but I'm not really like arguing and yelling at you.
No, you're fine. No, what? No.
I didn't want you to feel that way.
Not at all.
But you know, you do. I mean, you raise good points about maybe it's not going to get picked up by everybody, but that's what they're making it sound like, and that's why it's scary.
Yeah, and the biggest component of that is just becoming hip hop culture. Like they're feminizing my culture. Hip hop culture is black culture. They're feminizing black culture for men.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like all of your favorite rappers, not all of them, of course, but a lot of them are. You know, look at all these little kids. Like I try not to be so judgmental with
You mean
kids.
who they're pushing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Who they're pushing. Not the Kendricks and Drake.
Yeah, it's who they're pushing. Let's make that distinction.
The other little guys, all of them got a little in front
I'll
of their
agree
name,
with that.
And they got the colorful dreads and all
And
that.
the beads in his hair.
Beads in the hair, all that stuff.
And just being
And they're the ones with the Sprite commercials. They're the ones with the big major endorsements. And they don't sell the way that Kendrick and J. Cole sell. But you know,
they're being pushed, and they're one hit one. I mean, they're around for a small bit of time. I mean, like you're not gonna be listening to those like 10 years, 15 years in the future. You're not gonna be listening to these songs.
We don't even need them to, because if they get one artist this week to get you to wear a dress, this one gets you to wear a romper, that one gets you to wear a mankini. Remember when everybody was doing the Rich Homie Quan dance and it was really just sticking your butt out, but men were going around doing it? Like the men are still dancing with their butt outs. I ain't heard a Rich Homie Quan song in forever. Men's putting their butt out to other songs. You see what I'm saying? So
I don't know what
they're
that
just
is at all.
they're just conduits. They're just tools. If you buy my theory that you know the black man is being feminized, the feminization of black men, then these are just conduits to do it. They don't have to have a long, successful career. They can be a one-hit wonder. But if their one hit is "Do the Homie," that's all it was on the Boondocks. Do the Homie, and it was men chest bumping and hugging, and it was literally "Do the Homie." Like fuck your man friend, and that was Aaron Gruder, Magruder, great guy. I love his work. He did an episode on the Boondocks like that, and I mean that's kind of what's happening. They don't have to have a 10, 20-year career. They just need that one song that make you do that one thing, and if it happens enough, because I know hip hop culture does influence. I got all pro black because of hip hop culture. I got I got to read some more Malcolm X. I got Power to the People, and it had negative effects on me. It does influence you to a degree, and especially with the way music is consumed now with social media. It's online, it's on TV, it's on the radio. You can just go play.
I'll put it to you this way, dude. My daughter goes to a dance school way up in Milton. You know, this is white central, 99% white up there. Their most popular classes at that school are the hip hop classes, by far.
Mm.
There's a waiting list for them.
I mean, we're huge influencers on the culture. That's just how it is. That's true.
And when they can influence the biggest influence on the culture. So when these suits are influencing with hip hop, the biggest cultural influence in America is, or probably the world, then they can dictate what happens with us. And that's how you get the feminization of black men. I want to go deeper into that. Maybe we'll follow up on this. Mm-hmm. We do need to kind of move on to a few other stories before we let you guys get out of here. But great discussion. Mm-hmm. I think we need to continue to have it. Moving on.
The fan story of the week.
Yeah, fan story of the week. What is it? Where are we?
Student loans.
Student loans.
This is horrible.
Student loans.
Betsy DeVos.
Yes.
This is why they booed her. This type of shit. I guess I'll take it. The Department of Education is now basically treating student loans like charge card loans. I won't even call them credit card loans, charge card loans. They are going to start suing people. Mm-hmm. They're going to start applying penalty percentages to the loans to lengthen the term of the loans. And they are going to start going after people who had already had I forgot what they're called, a deferment. Yes, deferments. They're going to start canceling people's deferments. Here's the kicker. Betsy DeVos has direct ties to a law firm that is a collections agency.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Which is why
Yeah,
conflict of interest. Conflict of interest.
So now she's about to create,
lots of revenue.
20 million or so default debts that somebody's got to go and collect on.
And be paid for.
Ching ching.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Which is why she's in that position. That's exactly why she's there.
Exactly. The article said that her firm would stand to make somewhere upwards around $90 million from this.
Yeah.
Because they're already tied into the Department of Education and their loan process.
And that's why whenever Trump appointed somebody, they were like, you appointed a person who knows nothing about schools to be the education secretary. You appointed someone who knows nothing about this to be that. And all of these people had conflicting interests with every position they were given so that they could... everything Trump has done has been a money grab.
Hey, Ariel. Hey, Ari. Okay.
Everything they've done has been a money grab. It's crazy to me. It's crazy.
I think as somebody who pays student loans currently, and I know that school has increased, like the amount of money involved with getting an education is like crazy right now. I went to Spelman College, which is a private HBCU liberal arts college, which private means that we don't have a lot of government money coming to us. Plus, we're an HBCU, which are historically underfunded by their alum. That's a horrible thing. I give every year. If you just donate to an HBCU, it doesn't even matter if you went there. Donate to one. You can save somebody's education. The fact that the student loan situation is already absolutely horrible. I personally am expected to pay about $300 or $350 a month for my student loans. And when you look at that, yeah, $300, $350 a month for my student loans. But the worst thing about this is that when you look at the breakdown of what I'm actually paying, about $250 to $300 of that money is going just towards interest. Mm-hmm. I pay $50 in principal every time I pay my student loan. Mm-hmm. That's crazy, and I owe $40,000 or $50,000. Imagine, like, that's a long payoff process if I don't pay it off in just chunks.
This isn't where the rubber
it's gonna get worse.
The road, guys. Like, think about all of the black doctors. Think about all the black lawyers.
It's horrible.
Think about all of the black surgeons and scientists.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't an attack on the undergrads. Actually, this is a direct attack on the thought leadership for the minority communities of this country. This is really trying to cut the head off of that proverbial snake. Literally, that's why this is so bad.
Yeah, it's crazy. And a couple of our listeners, viewers, are paying student loans as I am for whatever reason. I went back to school a couple years ago. I don't know why, but I'm paying that myself. So I'm in that boat. I will say this. This is another ongoing topic. We're going to try to wrap up this show, get into sports really quickly, let you know what to watch this week on TV, and then we'll get up out of here with our Can You Hear Me Now segment. So, sports, really quickly. The NBA playoffs suck.
Absolutely. Only good series was the Wizards and the Celtics, and that's over with.
Yeah. So it looks like we're on a crash course with the Warriors and Cavs in the finals. That'll be a rubber match. The third time they met, Golden State won the first one, Cleveland won the second one. That should be good. That should be entertaining, barring any injuries. So we have that to look forward to. NBA draft happening. Boston Celtics, who are currently losing the Eastern Conference Finals to the Cavs, now have the first pick in the draft. That will be very interesting. They're the second best team in the East, or third, and they have the number one pick. That's going to be very, very interesting. They have the number one pick for Brooklyn next year, which come out to be in the first pick, 10th pick, 20th pick, whatever. But they had that pick as well. That's a little scary, so watch out for that. Really quickly, NBA new rule about getting the super contract is you have to make all NBA team. John Wall made it, Steph Curry made it, James Harden made it. So if you make an all NBA team, first, second, or third, you can get up to $50 to $70 extra million by signing with your original team. Big incentive to stay with your team if you're a great player. If you just missed it, you lost a lot of money. That's it for me with sports.
Let's talk about that Crawford Diaz fight real quick, man. So this was the first free fight that came on HBO for a while. You know, I think they were trying to get some of the momentum from the great fights we've all watched on pay-per-view. This one was not a great fight. Basically, we watched Crawford beat the brakes off of Diaz for 10 or so rounds. The ref had to stop the fight. His
corner stopped the fight. Yeah, his corner stopped.
Oh, no, you're right. His corner did. The earlier fight, which was only a 2-round fight, but I witnessed one of the greatest knockouts I've ever seen live.
Yeah.
Live. He knocked this man. First of all, the man was cheating. He headbutted him and knocked him to the ground, made his eye bleed and everything. And then he hit this dude with this vicious left hook. And I mean that man's face exploded when he got hit. I've never seen anything like that.
The way he hit the
and then he slammed his head on the back of the canvas because he was out cold. I mean, it was bad. Like they brought in the
stretcher,
the back bench, and they had to brace him.
Had to strap him down.
Yeah,
he was loopy. He was like, "I want to fight."
Yeah, he was trying to get up. They said that as of last night they diagnosed him with a concussion, and they were going to take it from there. But you know, we thought he broke his face. Yeah, he so hard. We thought his face was broken.
His jaw looked crazy. It was like it looked displaced. Jaw.
Yeah, Bobby Brown jaw.
Like immediately after the punch, it was bad.
Yeah, straight into Bobby Brown jaw.
It was bad, man. But that's it for sports.
Yeah, Netflix and chill. The show Black-ish has a spinoff where the oldest daughter is going to college. I wonder how they're going to deal with the student loans on that show. But I always tease Black-ish because I call it the new Cosby Show. And this is indeed the new different world, I would presume. Yeah. So that should be coming out in another year or so with the oldest daughter going off to college. That should be interesting. I like shows where I love Different World because that's what made me want to go to college. Yeah. Watching that show.
Yeah, let's look out for that Get Out DVD or Blu-ray, coming out with the alternate ending too.
Yes.
I haven't seen the alternate ending yet.
I can't find it because they've been knocking it off the internet because it's copyrighted.
Yeah, but apparently it's the bad ending.
Yes.
So
and they said somebody different shows up.
Yeah, somebody different shows up.
Which I think I know who.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that one. It's actually available on demand too. And
the alternate ending?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, and on Apple TV.
That's
so
good.
I'm probably gonna cop that tonight and check that out.
Definitely.
Yeah. Let's get into our Can You Hear Me Now, so we can let you guys get back to that terrible game in the next 5 minutes or so. Who wants to start it off?
I'll start it off. My Can You Hear Me Now this week is about the environment again. As y'all know, the environment is really important to me. I am the learned hippie otaku, so hippie underscore that real quick. No, not that. Anyway, so my Can You Hear Me Now is about basically in y'all neck of the woods in DC, there was apparently some locusts that came out of their shells a little bit too early, a few years too early.
Oh, cicadas.
I'm sorry, what did I say? Locusts? I said locusts. I misspoke. Cicadas.
Cicadas came early?
A few, came out like 3 or 4 years early. Like a few of them. And as JB knows, that's just really bad because in order for them to survive, there have to be like hundreds of thousands of them to be able to procreate because they're such easy pickings for like animals that eat them. They're very low on the food chain. So that it's because of the environmental changes going on right now. So it's a really dangerous thing to have all of these things interrupting, because it interrupts the entire balance of the world, because the world is on a rhythm, and it's a very precise rhythm, and when we disturb it, it really harms Mother Earth. So that's my Can You Hear Me Now, is just being conscious of that. Trying to think about global warming and how you can try to reduce your carbon footprint as much as possible day to day. Even if you can do just a 10% cut, a 5% cut, a 3% cut, it's still better than what you were doing before. So try it out. That's my Can You Hear Me Now?
So I watched a show on TNT. I caught it when I was in Houston, called American Race, and it's actually hosted by Charles Barkley. And in this show, he is exploring different racial subcultures in America and talking to them about their problems. And obviously, he led with his own race, black people. And obviously it got into the problem with the police in the streets. And people were giving it to Charles about some of the things that he has said throughout this crisis. And Charles, you know, he was patient, and, you know, he responded to what people said, and he was very respectful. But here's where I had a problem. He tried to show both sides of the argument. So he went and visited the police. And he went to a police station and went through one of their training simulations, where this is like the shoot, don't shoot simulation, where they show you somebody who's a threat and somebody who's not a threat, and you're supposed to decide whether or not to shoot them, right? Charles Barkley correctly shot the first threat. The second threat, he hesitated, and then he was shot. And the officer said, "You were just killed." First of all, this happened literally within like 8 seconds. Like the video, like all of a sudden the man didn't have a gun, and then the man did have, like, his hand didn't move, his arm didn't move. It was like a video game. Like a gun just appeared in the man's hands, and Charles Barkley was dead. And I was like, okay, we need to get them some better training videos, because they think that niggas can just pull guns out of thin air, you know, first of all. Second of all, Charles was like, wow, that was really fast. That was really scary. And I got angry, because our police officers shouldn't feel like Charles Barkley feels in that situation. What kind of parallel are they trying to show here? We're trying to now say that police officers are just regular guys, and they're just as scared as everybody else on the street. America, police officers are all equipped with bulletproof vests. All of them now. All of them. All of them. They all have automatic handguns, not semi-automatic handguns. Pop, 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 pop. Automatic handguns. They all have at least 20,000 volt tasers. They all have several handcuffs, blackjacks, and nightsticks. You're telling me that an individual armed with all of this equipment, and the statistics show that 50% of them were also military trained. You're telling me a trained killer who is armed to the teeth in the streets is afraid of a skinny ass little kid in a hoodie? And he's supposed to only have a couple of seconds to decide whether or not this person lives or dies? That's what we're saying? That's what we were saying, Charles? Really? Fuck that shit. That is not what is going on. That's all I gotta say.
Alright. My Can You Hear Me Now, we kind of been touching on the entire show, which is, I think America's becoming too tolerant. Even touching on, with the environment and the cicadas in D.C. It's a level of tolerance, of acceptance, of nonchalance that allows that to continue to happen, because people don't care about the environment necessarily. Or even with JB's situation, they were scared, so they killed them. Just let it go. No deeper thought, no examining, no prosecution. Just they were scared, we let it go. And I think the same thing is happening with even the smaller things like rompers and mankinis and outfits like that. We seem to really be focused on that everybody do whatever they want.
To black people.
Yeah, to black people. and it's a problem, and I won't have that stance anymore. I took the stance, like I said, about 2009. But as long as you ain't hurt nobody, I ain't saying nothing. But I realized that that's a slippery slope. And I don't mean like if you smoke weed, one day you're gonna smoke crack, because that's just bullshit. I mean a legitimate slippery slope. Like tight jeans are cool, kilts and dresses are cool. Now mankinis are cool, and rompers are cool, and people can marry themselves. Like it's just like we have no
boundaries.
Thank you. We have no boundaries.
Our president can sell secrets to Russia.
Yeah, our president can sell secrets to Russia. It's just people are really, this whole nonchalant attitude is going to be the destruction of our society. It's crazy that we know that the Russian government played a part in the election process, our election. But nobody's really talking about that. Everybody's kind of moved on. They're either praising Trump for what he did or blasting Trump for something he did yesterday. But nobody's still talking about the fact that he stole the election with the help of the Russian government. That's just like on deaf ears now. Like we're past that. No. How the hell did we get past that? And I'm guilty of it too, because when I thought the Democrats stole the election from Bernie, I was like, well, Hillary's there now. So I had the same thing. But it should have been, you can't steal the election. And I just want to throw out there to you guys that we don't have to be so tolerant. That's not how you define a good person. That's not how you define a good-hearted person. The way I grew up, people were involved in other people's business. I know the story we had with the two lesbian young ladies who won King and Queen. I brought that up in our group, and someone said to me, "Why are you so worried about what kids are doing?" And I'm not that I'm worried. Like, I'm not like you act like I've invested my entire life into this. And all of a sudden, I was a loser because I had an opinion on what children did. And I'm like, but we should have opinions on what our children do.
Thank you. Thank you.
I believe the children are the future. Teach them well and let them lead the way.
Didn't you just
show
say?
Them all.
Okay, never mind. Go ahead. Nothing. Go.
So, having said all of that, I'm going to start holding people more accountable. And I think that's what we do with the show, especially with the Donald Trump Shut Up Stupid Award. We hold people accountable every single week for dumb shit they say or dumb shit they do. I think we need to continue with that.
Indeed.
Kickback TV live from Atlanta. We are on break next Sunday for Memorial Day. We'll see you guys the first week in June.
Oh man.
Yeah. Work out,
So fast.
eat right, tell your family you love them, and try to maximize and have the most fun in every given moment. You just never know. How about that?
Good night and God bless y'all.
Good night. Have a good week. See y'all in a couple.
You gotta try to screenshot pictures? Go ahead. I'm in.
Man. You can cut it off. Everybody done logged off now.
Wow.
Everybody done logged off.
Wow. You know what? You won't be on the show next week. How about that?
Okay.
Good. I know who won't be here next week.
Huh?
You're not gonna be on the show next week.
I'm not going to be there next week. I already know that.
How you know?
Because I already know because I'm break. Okay. Rude. That was rude.
Y'all. This one was fun. This one got a little heated. Sorry, I got a little frustrated with all
it's
the
a frustrating
bullshit.
topic.
All right, y'all. Thanks for tuning in. We will see you guys first Sunday in June.
No.
We'll see you guys first Sunday in June. Thanks for tuning in. Share the video now. It's over. Go ahead and share that video.
Yeah, man. Peace out.
Share the video.